All right, Anton Frondell came on the scene to us probably 2 years ago in Plymouth at one of the Five Nation tournaments. Very raw at the time. Skating was kind of sloppy. He wore his tongues out of his skates. He just looked sloppy in general. But you notice the hands and the brain and stuff like that. And over time, he just kept getting better and better and better. And you get to watch him. Matt Saline and Nick Blomgren, they see him on a constant basis. Obviously, with Marcus Kruger, him playing with him this year, we had a lot of information from Marcus. This kid called Johnny Oduya out of the blue just to go meet with him to learn about his breathing exercises that he does. So he's a really inquisitive kid when it comes to hockey. I know you haven't seen him live, like in person, but he's a pretty good specimen when you see him. Like he's big in the right spots. On the ice, he plays a pro game. He's played pro hockey, obviously, in the Allsvenskan, and then they got elevated this year to the SHL. But he plays wing on that team. He plays center with the national team. He'll probably play center with the World Junior team. So he's responsible. We would like to see a little bit more drive offensively because he's so detailed-oriented away from the puck. And when we were in the process of talking with him, he said when he's with the Allsvenskan team and he's playing with they got some older guys on that team, him and Eklund, the older guys were like, you two go, and I'll be the third guy high. With the national team, the coaches wanted him to be the third guy high, to be the low guy back in the zone. So that probably took a lot away from his offense. But he's just, as I said, he's inquisitive. He's the only kid in the 4 years I've been in this position that you get a time limit at the draft to talk to at the combine to talk to these kids that I kind of just lost track of time and we went over. And he's a super kid. He's a hard worker. He'll fit totally in with the character of the guys that we have both on and off the ice. So, Vaclav Nestrasil, agent is the same agent as Ryan Donato, Matt Cater. So we've known him for quite a while, as far back as playing in Czech when he was younger with our scout, Karl Pavlik. And then he came over last year, and he played 15 games in Muskegon, and it happened to coincide when Sasha Boisvert was there. So we were able to talk to Sasha a lot about him. And then as you watch him end of last year, and then we see him in the Fall Classic this year in September to kick off the year in the USHL, he just he put 15 pounds on it, and he just took off. And he's a cerebral player. He does have to get stronger, but that'll come with maturity. Like he's 6'5", 180-something pounds. Like it's still all coming together for him. But his brain and his hands, like he's got the ability to play up the lineup. And love the fact that he's going to UMass. I had a lot of conversations with Greg Carville, who was there. He was the same coach that Coach Cale McCarr when he was there, and they've turned out a lot of good pros. So we believe in their program and playing in Hockey East and the strength program. And then with Mason, like Kyle said, it was just there's so much there that when he commits to hockey, you saw he was one of the highest risers in the rankings once he went to Fargo and started playing hockey more than training for football and stuff like that. So he's just, again, I heard you guys mention AJ. He's a hell of an athlete. But he's just big. Like you saw him as a quarterback. But he brings that quarterback mentality to the ice because when he's entering the zone, he's always scanning the zone on what plays to make, and he's comfortable with contact. He doesn't shy away from that type of stuff. And Michigan State is obviously there. We got Artie out of there, Jared DeMichael and Knighty. They're fantastic coaches. They turn out pros. So we're comfortable. Caden Lindstrom's going there this year to play. They had Isaac Howard, so they turn out pros from there. So it'll be a longer road with both him and Estrasil, but their bodies they're just starting their process. So it's gonna 3 years, and then we'll see where it goes. But there was we had some intel where we might have to get Mason, and we didn't think we would be able to get him at 34. So that's when Kyle got a little bit active after that pick. And
when there were all the rumors the last 48 hours about what San Jose was going to do, were you comfortable knowing that we're going to get whichever guy, or were you really keyed in on Anton? Like how
No, they're both. Anton and Michael Mesa are elite hockey players. Like they're going to be better than top 6 forwards on any team, probably top 3 forwards different players. But we were real comfortable knowing that we were going to get one of them. So we just kind of just sat back. And it just, you hear all it usually doesn't change much, right? It was all along, it was Schaefer and Misa the whole year. And then you get that combine bias-y of the interviews and the training and everything else. And then after you digest it, it resettles itself. So, but obviously thrilled that we got Anton. Major piece for us.
Anton mentioned Barkov is somebody
Mm-hmm.
likes to model. Do you see that in his profile, or is there something
Yeah, I
else?
mean, Barkov's probably a few inches taller, and obviously a little bit heavier now at this point, but they play a similar style. I would say he's probably somewhere between a Barkov and an Anton Lundell, like kind of in that range there, like he's a big, detail-oriented center with a brain. So he can shoot a puck. So he's going to be a really special piece for us.
It doesn't matter if he's, I guess, center wing, I guess, as you guys are piecing it together with Bedard and Nazar, what else do you have in the pipeline, or?
Coach can figure that out. We have Kyle and Norm give me and my group traits that how they want to build the team, and we go and get it. And it's a bonus that guys can play multiple positions. He doesn't consider himself center wing anyway. His comment in the combine, I said, "Are you a center or wing?" And he said, "Well, whatever Connor doesn't play, I'll play." So that was he's got a real confidence about him. So he's, but I'll let Blash and the coaching staff figure that out when he gets here.
You certainly valued skating throughout your time. How did these three guys, stack up when it comes to their skating?
Different, right? Because you see like Frank and all of them more and Lardis and Kanserov, like they fly, right? Like they're just different, 100 miles an hour. Anton's power, like he's lower body heavy, like he's power. Like kind of almost like Jonathan Taves skated, like that, just power coming through the middle of the ice. Like it's all power and positioning. Plays probably faster with his brain than his feet. Nestor Sill we think he's got, Brian Kane does a lot of work for us as far as his video stuff with skating and everything else, and we think he has the ability to be a 4 out of 4 mover in the NHL. He just needs the strength. So, again, those bigger guys, even Mason's a really good skater at his size. Not Spellacy-like, but like that. Like he's, but it just takes those guys a little bit longer because they're 17 years old and one kid's 6'5", the other kid's 6'6". Like, so it takes for their mechanics to get going with, and their body's going to change so much over the next 3 to 5 years. But they have the technique and the tools right now to keep developing. So.
Mason was saying Tage Thompson is someone that he looks at as a comparable.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of that is the body and the 6'6". I don't know if he's got 40 and 50 in him like Tage. That take it all day long if he does. A lot of those guys, as we go through these processes, they're 6'5", 6'6", and a right shot. Tage Thompson's a hot name right now. They go into it with that's who I think I play like, but I don't know. I don't know if he shoots it like that, but again, if he does, it's a welcoming gift.
But like naturally, you think 6'6", he's a power forward. But
Yep.
He seems like he sees himself more offensively skilled than.
Yeah, I mean,
front guys.
in Edina, the offense went through him. He was obviously their best player. He had a lot of touches. He was on his right shot. He wasn't on his one-time side. He was coming down hillside. But he's very comfortable moving pucks. In Fargo, he carried the puck a lot more than making passes. But he is. They're power forwards because of their size. And, he's a big boy. Like, he's going to go 6'6", 225 when it's all those are big guys. And if you can, like Kyle said, if you can skate at that size and you're that big, it's a weapon.
Obviously not your decision, but with Dugard going to the SHL and Eklund and I guess Kruger being there too, if Frondell were to go back there, is that a positive for he's playing up against?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Competition?
Yeah, you look back at who's the kid in Detroit who went back? Is it Raymond? Like he went back after his draft year, and it doesn't, Moritz Seider played in that league. Like it doesn't, they play meaningful games in front of 10,000, 12,000 people, and they're, it's no concern whatsoever. like a lot of these kids, especially in the first round, they're so driven internally that wherever they play, they're going to be the best. So you're going to get the best out of them. So